I think you're on mute.
Hello, namaste. How's everybody?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good.
How are you?
Okay, great. We'll just wait for some time. We'll just let a few more people join in. It's very nice to meet you all. I've unmuted everybody right now. Will be great to just understand where are you guys from? Sanjay, Ravisha, Manish, Monica. I think your screen is off, but that's okay.
Oh, is it on?
I'm from.
Yeah, you're good, Manish. Monica's screen
Yep.
is off. Yeah.
I'm from Hartford, Connecticut. Yes, I look crazy.
Sanjay, I can't hear you for some reason. Just type it down. Where are you? I mean, there's a chat box on the bottom. You could just type it. Hi, LV. Welcome, Dhruva. Sandhya. Sandhya is our star student. She's done more than 1,000 classes, I think. Can somebody speak? Say something so that
Okay.
Yes.
maybe I can hear you guys. Yeah, Manish, where are you from?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, United States.
Nice. How's it? Is it still cold? Is it getting better?
It's like up and down. The weather, like
Uh,
2 days back, it was nice, warm, like in up of 70s. But now, from last yesterday, 2 days, it's like a little bit cold. So, in Celsius, I think it's like 11 or 12 degrees right now here.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
That's nice weather. 11 or 12 degrees Celsius is not bad.
Yeah.
There was a time in Delhi, this was 31st December, I think, or 30th December. I'd done a very deep meditation course. And you won't believe, Manish, the windows were down
Mm.
and I didn't feel cold at all.
Oh, wow.
The power of what we're doing right now, you got to really understand it, So
Mhm.
we'll go through all of that here.
Okay.
LV, where are you from?
Hi everyone. I'm based in Toronto.
Nice.
Yes.
So LV, you just joined, LV, Manish. What about Ravisha? Where are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania, USA.
Nice. Yeah, Sanjay? All right. So all right. All right, no problem. Just hear what I have to say, While we wait for others, we should start now. Welcome, Swati. Sandhya, 1,343 classes at Shwasa. That's mad.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
really, really cool. Have
That
you
shows
started
like how much.
teaching?
Not much actually. Just to my close friends, one or
Let's do
two.
it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you how to start. I'll tell you what you can do right now. All right.
sure,
So,
definitely.
all right. So, welcome everybody. Hi, Iram. Very nice of you to come. Without wasting any more time, let me just start off. Hi. Hello, Hardeep. How are you? I'll just give you a small introduction to myself. Arunima, I'm a master yoga teacher, and I started yoga very late, though I was always very spiritually inclined, not religious, but spiritually inclined. And, I have also been an entrepreneur. I started a company called babyoa.com when my son was just born, and there was no e-commerce in India then. Sold that to the Mahindra Group, and I went very, very deep into yoga. I've gone to the Himalayas. I've meditated quite a bit there as well. And I've done various courses in yoga. And, let me just, the way I'm going to structure today is I'll give you a gist of my journey. I'll give you a gist of what you should be learning and in how much time, right? Because we go for a retreat, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but the neural pathways in your brain don't get formed in 3 weeks. So when you come back, you're still a little lost, right? So how much time does it really take you? So I'll start with my journey. I'll tell you what you should learn, how long you should learn, and what should your approach be when you start teaching, and how much can you really earn just from teaching yoga. You can do it complementary to your current career, or you could actually just switch over, which I did after a couple of years when I started teaching. Hi, Shruti, honey, everybody. So I'll just showcase my screen right now. Okay, can you guys see my screen? You will have to just click on the left where you see the screen, right? You just have to click on the left. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see that. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, please stop me anytime, ask me anytime, what you want to learn. I'll show you some photos of my journey, right? This was when I started learning yoga. And whether it was Russia, whether it was Spain, whether it was the Himalayas, I did yoga on every single vacation. These are some of the meditation classes that I conducted. These are some of my regular students. A lot of them have already started teaching. It's been a fantastic journey. And my body was able to do things which even I didn't think that I was capable of doing. Right. And, but the real journey, let me just take you through it. So, I did my first yoga class in 2015, December. And I was literally under shock that, what are these people doing and why can't I do any of it? Right. And by 2016, I did my basic yoga teachers training course. I had no intention of becoming a yoga teacher. My journey was fueled because, see, I was not very young when I did it. So my journey was fueled because I had seen the heights of happiness and the lows of lows, and again, heights of happiness. So I was seeing all the cycles, right? So I knew that there was something more to life, which was not only related to me and my family, right? So my journey was actually fueled by curiosity, challenge because I'm a pitta dosha. So how is it that I'm not being able to do some of this, right? And the pursuit of something deeper and lasting happiness, right? When I say lasting, discerning what is real and what is not real, right? So, for the first 1.5 years, I didn't waste any time. After my basic yoga teachers training, I did by Jan 2017. I did my advance, I did masters, I did several short courses, I did a retreat, and I took my first yoga class, which thankfully, I was given an opportunity. Nobody paid me for a month actually. But I did my first yoga class and it was more learning for me. And when students came and said, hey, thank you, I was getting married and I really got in shape. Oh, you helped me do the chaturanga. How did I do it in 2 weeks? All that really propelled me. And by Jan 18, I actually taught 2 classes daily. One was 7:15 a.m. before I went to work. And after I came back at 6 p.m. Right? I taught approximately 150 students, many more meditation, but yoga I taught close to 150 students. And the kind of respect and love I got from people around me, right? I mean, my society, which was known for their parties, suddenly everybody became a yoga teacher, right? And there was such a surge of energy because everybody started doing yoga, which is why I actually founded shwasa.com, because I myself faced a lot of problems in my journey. What is real, what is not real? The yoga teachers training courses were completely unstructured. I was supposed to actually accept whatever people were saying, even if my rational mind was telling me that this is not true, right? So so though I kept doing a lot of courses, for me what was more important was the confidence that I got. And I didn't start teaching till the time I knew that I was confident about it. But just to tell you that there is no such thing as unless you don't do the first class, you are not going to be very confident. And here is where Shwasa comes in, because we can give you that opportunity, right? So please stop me anytime I want to see your faces. So I'm just removing that screen right now. Just stop me anytime that you want to ask questions. All right. So coming to what you will learn, right? It always starts from the body. It will start from the body. Body is something that your senses, you can actually feel. If I tell you that there is an energy body and all, this is very theoretical. You have to experience it yourself. I cannot tell you things which you are not ready to experience, right? So it always starts from your physical body. And it is the asana lab. You have to understand the geometry of the asanas. Now, asanas is the geometrical designs of your bones, right? And if you see any yantra, they're all geometrical designs, so they trap certain energy in it, right? So, what prevents you from getting into the perfect asana alignment? It is your muscles, because they're not flexible enough. So, you will not be able to do a Hanuman asana. How will you do it when your muscles are not flexible? And that was my Achilles heel. I could not do Hanuman asana. It took me 2 years to do it, right? But I could do a headstand on my first day. So that was my body, right? For somebody else, and I still can't do Baddha Konasana very well. So accepting and understanding the human body, understanding the anatomy of the human body, when you're twisting, what is happening in your organs, your lower back or your spine, your lower spine, the T45, that is your stability joint. So when you bend back, right, so should the pressure be there on the stability joint or on the mobility joint, which is your thoracic spine? So you remember to take your chest out. So you have to understand the nuances. That is asana lab, right? It takes 6 months to master any advanced asanas, depending on your body, right? So that is number one. Number two is, what is the attitude with which you're learning, right? Is it ego? Oh, I am doing the headstand. Oh, I can do Vishwamitra asana. Oh, I can do a full split. Or is it as an observer, right? The attitude with which you do is more important than you doing it. There comes in philosophy, right? So what is philosophy? What is darshana? It's a viewpoint, right? So a lot of us are doing the philosophy course right now, going on. That is very deep, but just to touch upon it, can you move from me to this is happening to me, and without judging yourself, right? And the biggest experience I got that this is happening through me was when I took my first class, which I had no intention to teach. That was the first time I saw that I was able to affect so much change in people without me doing anything, right? So philosophy is very important. The Yoga Sutras, Ashtanga Yoga, the Bhagavad Gita, all this is just so important, so very important. The attitude with which you practice, right? Are you judging? You judge the teacher, you judge yourself. Don't do it. Very, very important, the attitude, right? The third comes now, this is such a huge universe, but you are unique in this universe. There is no other creature, there is nothing like you, right? You are born with certain tendencies. Those tendencies don't go away, right? So you may be living with your husband or your wife or your parents or your kids, but you are vastly different from them, right? That is Ayurveda. What is the tendencies I'm born with? Is it fire, like me? I have too much of fire. Or is it an imbalance of earth? I'm very earthy. I like a little bit of chilling, or is it an imbalance of air? So you have to understand Vata, Pitta, Kapha. What are these things? What is the time that you should exercise? What is the time that you should eat? What should you eat? Right? This is Ayurveda. It's very, very important, right? And food is very related to your body. Like I said, it starts with the body. Pranayama is very much a part of your body, and it moves a little deeper into philosophy. The lastly, what you really need to understand is how do you teach, right? Because I can come, there will be 5 people, and I'll do an advanced asana class, but none of those people are advanced. That's you don't teach asanas, you teach people, right? So that is also very important, because in my experience, the minute you start teaching, you give back, you create so much space for yourself to learn, right? And then it is not just your observing of your body, but it is your observing of 100 other bodies. So the knowledge that you gain is so much more. But don't start teaching. Like I said, I did the basic course, immediately I did the advanced course, I did the master's course, I did many courses, I did 15-day courses, I did a retreat, things like that. And till I didn't do my first class, I was still not very sure whether I'll be a good teacher, that kind of a thing. But the more, see, I'll tell you one thing. I heard a very, very good video, and this is chapter 15, Bhagavad Gita. This is also Adhomukh Vrikshasana, downward facing tree, or the handstand, right? So, a tree, if you see a tree, when you plant a tree, it's the only thing which grows anti-gravity. It goes up, but more, and as much it is anti-gravity, it is pro-gravity. It grows down. So the roots are as big as what it is on top, right? So till the time you don't, and you cannot see the root. So till the time you don't invest, when you're quiet, in the time when nobody is seeing you, you have to invest that time. So the more you invest in your roots, you will shoot up that much more. This is chapter 15 Bhagavad Gita. It's called the inverted tree. This is Adhomukh Vrikshasana. Adhomukh Vrikshasana handstand does not mean just a handstand. It is about, have you worked on every muscle group? When you do a handstand, it's not as if your shoulders are strong. It is your shoulders, your obliques, your hip flexors, everything is aligned. You get what I'm saying? So if you have not actually watered the roots, the plant will not grow, right? So this is basically, you start understanding all this really, really well. All right? Please stop me anytime you want to ask any questions, etc., etc. I mean, more than happy to answer. I'm going to share my screen again. This is more related to you guys than me now. So how should you train, right? I mean, your body, the attitude with which you practice, understanding the tendencies that you're born with, teaching methodology. Now, you cannot do this in a 3-week or a 4-week course, because there are neural pathways that are formed in your brain, right? These neural pathways take time. It's like when you try to learn how to play the piano, it's like noise when you start, right? Over time, the music starts, and then it becomes, I mean, if you see somebody who's practiced for a long time, you'll just see, how music just flows out of them. So you have to wait for that to happen, but you got to practice daily, right? So I just wanted to tell you guys what your approach should be, right? Now, it's very easy for me to say that, I mean, for you, all this is new. And for me, I've done this for the last 8 years. But when I remember back, in 6 months, you can do most advanced asanas. Do it daily, even if it means 7 a.m., 5 a.m., or 7 p.m. The time does not matter. Doing it daily matters. When you do it daily, your body responds so much, right? Pranayama, the link to remapping your brain. 20 minutes of pranayama is most important. I did yoga for 3 months, but I didn't do pranayama. The minute I started doing pranayama, yes, I will send the PDFs again. The minute I started doing pranayama, I mean, I did it every day for 20 minutes, at least for 3 months. right? I can tell you that from that time to now, it's been at least 8 years, I've never fallen sick, right? And, because once the neural pathways are formed, you cannot unform them. If you learn how to swim and you don't swim for 10 years, it's not as if you've forgotten to swim, right? If you drive and you don't drive, these are neural pathways, right, in your brain. Sahasrahar chakra, 1,000 points in your brain. Those are all neural pathways in your brain, right? So that is one very, very important thing that you have to learn, that you cannot do it in 3 months, 6 months, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's a holiday if you're doing it in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You will not gain the confidence, right? Pranayama, very important. Now, Bhagavad Gita classes. Now, Dr. Vishwanath takes Bhagavad Gita classes on, I think, Thursday evenings, right? This is so important for the demolition of your ego. It is very important for you to experience a higher energy form. That is the Bhagavad Gita. How do you experience a higher energy form? It's very, very important for you guys to do that, right? For 1 to 1.5 years, don't think about anything. Train yourself. Be determined. This is just 1.5 years of an 80, 90-year life. You will elevate to a different energy level. What you attract will be very different, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a lot of talk about VVGP. VVGP is Vastu, Vyakti, Paristiti, Ghatna. So your reaction to objects, people, some situation, right? All this will change. The situations you attract, the people you attract, the objects you attract will be very, very different once you go through this entire experience, right? For me, I did every course that I could come across. I mean, I didn't overdo it also. It was like 200 hours, 300 hours. Then, I did all the short courses. There were 15-day courses, etc. that I did. I did a retreat as well. Retreat is important for your cleansing because, in Hatyog Pratipika, there are Shat Karmas. It's important for you to clean that. It's, there is Neti, Dhoti, Vaman. There's so many in Hatyog Pradipka. There's centuries of compounded wisdom that is coming, right? So now, how can you earn? This is very, very important. And being an entrepreneur, this is something that I kind of cracked. And I saw so many teachers struggling. I felt that yoga teachers nowhere in the world really make money. But in my experience, that was not true. So what did I do? What I did was, you can actually earn $1,000 on every weekend. You have to just do a 2-hour Saturday, 2-hour Sunday course. Call your friends, call people around you from your office, etc., etc. But this is only after you've trained for that 1.5 years, or not before that, right? You just have to charge them, and you please charge them, because people who you don't charge don't value. I've paid, you think that Shwasa is this, I've paid so much more for my courses, right? And I really valued, I really went in, I reflected, I thought, and I acted upon it, right? But, just 10 people paying you $100 over a weekend is $1,000. So that's exactly what I did. I first did, I taught for 1 month in a studio. They were not paying me. So I was like, what the hell? I'm not going to teach here anymore. Ego was still there, but it gave me some experience on how to handle, that I felt I was a good teacher. But then after that, I did, just a 2-day course. I'm telling you 10 people, but I got 40 people. I just put it in my society, I put it in a neighboring society, and I got 40 people who came there. That gave me a lot of, and then started my series of workshops. Do 10-day workshops, charge $300 for 10 days. Very important. Just think about it, what I'm saying, because what you are teaching is of tremendous value for somebody else. Right? A 10-day workshop, I got, I think, 22 people. One of these photographs is of that. 22 people in one 10-day workshop, and I got another, I think, 15 people in the second 10-day workshop. Right? Charge them, please charge them. Don't try to do things for free. People will not appreciate it. Once I did these workshops and I did this 10-day courses, and I did a lot, see, I was very good in inversions, right? So I did courses in inversions, etc., etc. What is your strength? Play upon them. Like for example, Shruti here is very, 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 her hamstrings are really open. So you can do a 2-day course on, lower body flexibility, etc. here. Things like that. My hamstrings are still not as open as hers, right? So very important. Just start off this way. Now, I did 2 classes every day. I earned, say, 20-25% of what my corporate job was actually paying me, right? And I kind of, so I didn't make so much money from my regular classes as I made from the workshops. So please understand that you have to build your brand by doing these workshops. We at Shwasa here will really help you as to what should you do. There are very small techniques, right? You can just say that, you can just send a WhatsApp to everybody you know. But can you send a WhatsApp with a link? Join this group for the weekend workshop. So when I, first when I just put it out on an email or when I send a WhatsApp message, I mean, I got like 5, 6, 7 people responding. But when I put that link, understand UI and UX, how user interface design. The minute I put that link, 150 people came on that group. Out of 150, 40 people landed up in that venue, right? For the meditation 2-day course. So it's very important for you to understand. And we at Shwasa here will help you. These are all small techniques for you all to understand that how do you actually get people to walk into your, your class that way. And again, I stress upon, I know Swati, Sandhya, you are all doing the YTT. Teaching is important. Just tell us when you feel ready. Because unless you don't give away what you have, you will not get more. The minute you hold on to what you have, it stagnates and it falls. The minute you just give it away, your hand is open and you get so much more energy. Remember that. You have to, even when I founded Shwasa, for me, it is about just giving away everything, giving away all the knowledge to whoever is there to just pick it, right? I mean, and obviously, you all have to be at a certain energy level to appreciate it and to take it all in, right? So, earning around $5,000 a month is so simple. For you guys, especially, I mean, some of you are in UAE, some of you are in the States. Even if you don't want to teach, try because you will really become better. I did my, pinch mayur asana. People who come to classes with me, they've seen that it's so easy for me to just stand on my elbows. The first time I actually, I fell for at least 1 year. The first time I held it was when I was teaching, and there were 12 people looking at me. That's when I held it because something, I mean, quantum physics, right? The behavior of the particle changes when there is an observer. So you have to understand how your mind works, right? So I love science. So I relate all my experience to science in some way. So for you guys to earn $1,000 is actually $5,000 a month is very easy. We will help you, but you will not get the confidence that I may be portraying right now if you do not invest yourself. You have to invest it in yourself and you have to come to class. See, I did just 1 or 2 hours of yoga on a daily basis for a year, right? And inclusive of philosophy, etc., etc. I read a lot of books on meditation. I understood the nature of the mind. Bhagavad Gita I learned. I actually studied the Bhagavad Gita for 4-5 years, right? I mean, and that's why we have that class on Shwasa, so that you all also get to study, right? So this is because your attitude is very, very important. So this is about yoga teachers training. I did it when I was an absolute beginner. I could not sit on the floor without my knees being down. I could not even do namaste like this, right? Because everything was tight, right? But pitta dosha, challenge yourself. I have to, how can they do it and I not do it? But then Bhagavad Gita actually cracked my ego. It broke it down completely. And after that, it was not about achieving something. It was just the journey. It was just the journey. It was just knowing myself, things like that. And when you are true, when you have invested in yourself, I'm telling you, everybody responds to you. The kind of respect you get when you start teaching yoga is phenomenal. It's such a brilliant thing to teach people. And now when I just go to my next door neighbor and, she was my student, when she came to my workshop, she got fever. That much toxic was there in her body. And now you see her, she's like this really crazy teacher, and I mean, it's been 5-6 years for her, but she really invested, in herself, and she never missed a class that much, So this is basically what it is. Now at Shwasa, see, out of my learning, what I saw that a lot of the courses were very non-structured. And I was so happy when I met, my sister is also a yoga teacher. She also earns very well. And she actually told me about Pradeep. So she told me, you will love Pradeep because he is so organized. So that's when we came together and we were like, I was like, let's just organize this, because in India, I had so many people just telling me, trust me, believe in me. I mean, it does not work that way, right? It's not about trust me, believe me. You have to trust in yourself, in the Guru Tattva in yourself. You have to trust, you have to trust in the Vedas. Vedas is an experience, right? So you have to trust in the experience, right? We can only show you a path. So we have a 200 hours teachers training, which is approximately $1,200 in 6 months. We have an advanced teachers training, which is 300 hours RYT, which is around $2,000 for a year. And we insist that please come on a retreat, right? A 3-day retreat, that kind of a thing. So this is extremely important for you all to understand that if you all want to do it, this is the way to do it. You have to give yourself a year, you have to give yourself 18 months and not take a break. If you're training, do the YTT basic, do the YTT advanced, do a retreat, do short courses. Anyways, if you do the 300 hours, all the short courses are free for you, right? So this is basically, so here what I can say is at Shwasa, this is how we've done it. Basic teachers training is here, advanced teachers training is here. Combined, it is approximately $3,000 for 18 months. Retreats, US and India, approximately, so it's approximately $4,500. Trust me, I paid double of that in 18 months to 2 years, right? And you need not do everything. You can do the basic first and then you can do the advanced. Please come to a retreat, very important for cleansing, right? So this is basically what we at Shwasa offer. We have looked, and I can tell you that in the world, there is no teachers training program like this, because you have to do it over a period of 6 months. You learn on the weekend, you practice throughout the weekdays, and this cycle keeps going on and on and on for 18 months, right? And Aradhana is here. It's important for you all to also do the internship, right? We may not allow you all to take classes with others, but we will try and help you all take some classes, etc., etc. That kind of a thing. But even if you see our teachers, right? Why are our teachers so good? Because after doing a teacher's training, what happens? You're on your own. For 2 years, for 2-3 years when I was teaching, I was on my own. That's not true for Shwasa teachers. You basically come together and knowledge share, right? So we have such a close community of teachers. Somebody has got, some ailment, somebody has got, so you learn from each other that way. How do I know that, a student of mine, I just met her the other day and I said, you had plantar fasciitis. What happened? She could not even walk. She used to love running. So she's like, अरे डाउनवर्ड डॉग करते ही हो गया. So she told me 5 years back, just 3 months of downward dog in my class and it was cured. Because you have to stretch those muscles a little bit, right? So she was more interested in how can I do Ashtavakra asana and all. So I said, you have to practice for that. You cannot not do it, right? So this is what it is. I mean, anybody here, any questions? Please invest in yourself. We have very thoughtfully structured this course so you get everything out of it. Any questions here? Please, thank you, Sanjay. Anybody here who, I know Hardeep, Swati, and they're all doing the yoga teachers training. Anybody else here who's interested in doing it? Hani, Manish, Ravisha, Sanjay, let me know. We'll, it's a great part to start off with.
Oh, Arunima, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course I can.
Yes. So my body is not that flexible right now. If I'm going to start learning this course, so what is the requirement? Do I need to first flexible? Do I need to little bit flexible before joining the course, or how does it work? Because
No,
recently I
not at
just
all.
delivered a baby and I really wanted to learn yoga a lot. So what
How
would be the
recent,
procedure?
Ravisha? How recent?
She's just a year and old. So
So my son was also very small when I started doing yoga. So 1 year is a long time. You're fully recovered. Ravisha, like I said, that I started with basic teachers training. It's not that I did yoga for 3-4 months and then I started. See, the thing is that when you just do there is a difference between doing exercise and training. There's a difference between running and training for a marathon. There's a difference between doing yoga and training for it, right? So you have to understand the theory behind yoga. You don't have to forget because, if you, why are you doing yoga? You're doing yoga so that your body becomes so fit that there's no illness that can touch you, right? There's nothing that can touch you. That's when you can sit for dharana, dhyana, other things which will come, which you will learn in the course, which will these are steps. It's like an algorithm. It's absolutely, and thankfully to Sage Patanjali, he created this algorithm for us people who are householders. So you don't need anything previous to it at all, Ravisha. You can do it right now. Just don't judge yourself. That's all I'm saying. I can't do. I'm telling you, I couldn't do anything. Yeah, touching my toes and all. But it happened. Yeah,
that's
I
my
couldn't
problem.
do.
I can't touch even. I can't touch my toes.
I couldn't sit on the floor. I couldn't do namaste. You have to do namaste like this with a straight back. I was doing namaste like this. It was so pain. By the way, I couldn't do balasana. Forget anything else. I couldn't do balasana, and I used to think that how can people rest in balasana? Are they crazy? That kind of a thing. So nothing like that. See, if you train properly, right? So obviously in 1 or 2 months the body opened up, but now we have YTT classes also, special asana classes. Uh, just 1 second. Yeah, it would take 2 more months for everything to open up, except for certain. I was a corporate professional. I sat for 20 years on a chair, so obviously my hips and hamstrings will be tighter than most of the other people, right? So that took a longer time for me to open up. Yeah, Mamta, what did you ask? Sorry. Is it possible to get rid of hypothyroidism with yoga? So we have a nutritionist, Mamta. See, I've had a hypothyroidism ever since it was, it was induced, pregnancy-induced hypothyroidism. But I don't have any of the effects of hypothyroidism. I don't have any of the, I don't have any of the symptoms, as you say. I mean, hair fall, this, that. I don't have those. So you can manage with yoga. There are a lot of asanas which put a pressure on your throat chakra, right? And this is basically your thyroid gland, right? So things like Sarvangasana, Halasana, etc., etc. But you can't only do Sarvangasana or only do Halasana. You have to do the whole class, right? Because the end is the throat chakra, right? The end of everything. After that happens the inversion, which is your Sahasrahar, right? So you have to understand that, the class has to be planned in that way. So you can manage the symptoms, Mamta. You need to manage your diet. You need to also do some cardio, walks. I'm not saying run, because I became so fit, so fit, so fit that I started running marathons every weekend. And then my ankle went, everything went, so it was too violent an act for my body, is what I felt. It could be different for somebody else, but so for me as a pitta dosha, I have to rein it in. I have to stop. I can't keep doing it, things like that. So Mamta, very, very possible. My sister also has hypothyroidism, and she's gotten over her medicine. Mine is a little stronger than hers, so I've reduced the dose a lot. But my sister, though, doesn't even have, hypothyroidism is also, my mom also has it, right? So it's also somewhere genetic that way. So you can very easily do it. Thank you. Yeah, Monica, complete payment plans, will really help you through it. No problem at all. Money, according to me, is such a, I never even thought about it. I remember there was this huge guru coming from the Himalayas for 15 days to teach us something, asking for so much money. For me, I couldn't really put a value to the knowledge. So, and I thought that, he is taking this money just to build his ashram, so let it go. That kind of a thing. So I couldn't really. So we'll help you out if you really need, help with payment plans. No problem at all. In fact, if you, Dhruva is here, Radna is here, if you reach out to us today, then, you can very easily just take something like a 10 or 15% off and actually start your journey right now. Any other questions? Swati, do you have any questions? Are you planning to teach? Wait, I'm going to unmute everybody. Okay, no, you're in the car, so I can't hear you. Hardeep, what about you? Are you planning to start teaching? Only Hardeep and Swati are not unmuted. Everybody is unmuted. Honey, what about you?
Honey, what about you?
Now doing yoga,
Yoga,
but I haven't
but I
started with
haven't
YTT.
started with YTT.
So I just
Do it,
want
do it,
to
do it.
get a knowledge,
Get a
and
knowledge,
then
and
I'll just
then
think
I'll
and
just
start it.
think and start it.
Okay, so I'm just muting so that there is no. So, honey, you are lucky. You have age on your side. You're just very young right now. And, when I started on this path, I was just wondering that why didn't we learn all this in college? So I actually put my son in Bhagavad Gita classes also. He was 7 years old then. And he did it for 4, 5 years along with me. But it was a kids' yoga, it was a kids' Bhagavad Gita class. And you should see, Bhagwanji says, the way he says, Bhagwanji says that you have to follow the rules as the sun comes up and the sun goes down. The same way, when you get up, there are certain set of rules that you need to follow. So don't delay this. Even, whatever you do, the kids don't listen to what you do. Kids do what you do. So just remember that, for me, that was a very big motivation, because I really wanted to inspire my child without being overly critical or, judgmental about his marks or about his lifestyle, about what he wanted to do. I thought, let me just plant the basic seed and let him grow from there.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Hi, Namaste. I
So,
think I'm sorry, please go ahead.
Hi.
no, it's okay. Go ahead. That's fine.
No, it's fine. Please go ahead. Sorry, I was able to unmute myself, so I thought I'll speak.
Yes, so I just have to plan. I know I was doing yoga, then I have stopped. I was doing in my school life, then I have stopped, and then I have started again. Still, I'm not that much great with so many asanas. Like I cannot touch my toes. I don't know why. I can do a lot of other asanas, but I can't do that. So I just have to really think that. And about the payment plans, I know you have said, so I'll just talk to Dhruva. I think already I am emailing him and everything. So
Sure. Sure, sure,
sure.
sure. Talk to Dhruva and honey. See, asanas, right? I mean, see, hamstrings are very difficult to open. It takes 8 months, honey. I mean, for some people it happens in 3 months. For me, it took 8 months. But you will see as you keep practicing that 50 asanas will come together, because asanas is not about just the main muscle groups, it's the connecting muscle groups. So your obliques and your hip flexors, your glutes, so when you bend down to touch your toes, it's not just your hamstring, it is your lower back, it's your glutes, it is. And where should you put the pressure, things like that. So once hamstring opens, and when you start doing, say, Hanuman asana, like even I couldn't touch my toes, but now I can do Hanuman asana like really easily, right? When you start doing the forward split, it's also your quads, right? It's not just, so you have to learn it in a guided manner.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, namaste. Thank you so much, first of all, for having Shwasa. Like, it's. I'm really, really grateful for this platform because it's very flexible. Otherwise, I was not able to be consistent at all. But once I found Shwasa, I'm so glad that I found Shwasa and then started practicing. And for your question, about your question, I started teaching soon after the certificate, like YTT 200. I took 2 months of group classes once a week, which was just among my friends. And I mean, I circulated this news that I'm a certified trainer now. So it's just among my friends and relatives. And then it was just free classes so that I could learn experience and gain that confidence to start teaching. Then after that, from April onwards, April 1st onwards, I started one-on-one classes 4 times a week for 2 people. And then I was fortunate to get an opportunity at office as well. So I'm taking 1 hour per week face-to-face class now. So yeah, so I'm,
Big clap for Swati. Yeah.
as you said, there's so much to learn. And I read somewhere like, I mean, instead of thinking what I will teach, I should think about what they will learn. So and it
Hmm.
made a difference. And from, as you said, from the classes I had this problem, like how I would start teaching, I couldn't do me, I still cannot do many asanas. My hamstrings are very tight, my inner thighs are tight. So all those asanas where these areas are in bold, I cannot do it. I cannot open my legs and bend forward, still I cannot do that. So I was thinking like how to do that. But as you said, that ego part, when it is gone, it made a big difference. And thank you so much for all the teachers at Ashwasa for that.
Most welcome. You're talking about Upavishta Konasana, right? Seated forward bend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So with
that is
open
a
legs,
tough one.
everything is difficult for me. And
Swati,
how?
pranayama, do pranayama. It helps in flexibility. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because Upavishta Kon was a tough one for me also, but it happened.
And
It'll
about
happen.
pranayama also, I would like to share something. So when I was very regular with classes, I was working from home at that time. And then for the first 6 months after I joined Shwasa, I used to do pranayama every day. And then surprisingly, I felt so much of changes, like in my mood swings related issues, hormonal
Yeah.
issues. But then later, I started doing only asana, taking only asana, attending online, only asana classes, not pranayama. It was coming back a little. So I understood and realized that pranayama makes a big difference. And then I restarted doing, attending such classes. So those who are new to Shwasa, like who are attending this session, I would love to share. I mean, I would share that pranayama makes a big difference. People will think that it's just a breathing exercise, but then that there lies a change that makes a
Yeah, yeah.
change.
So pranayama, you have to understand your lungs, right? So, your lungs, where it mixes with blood, right? Where air mixes with blood. There are these thin, fibrous tissues, and it bubbles, right? There are bubbles that form. You have to understand biology actually. And that is, you just give it more time for the oxygen to mix with the blood. Once your blood oxygenation becomes so high, where will you be sick? You cannot be sick. Things like that. And oxygen is just so important for every cell in your body. Pranayama is actually the hidden gem, which is why you will see at Shwasa you have pranayama classes every 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. I mean, there's lots of pranayama classes. It doesn't matter which, and pranayama is controlled breathing. And just remember, why YTT is because you can get addicted to the asana and the pranayama practice, right? You can get addicted to this practice because if you see a lot of people in the West, they're so invested in their bodies that it is just about the asanas, right? And not everybody, but a lot, so unless you don't understand the philosophy part of it, right? You have to really understand the philosophy part of the asanas, right? And you should not forget why you're doing it. So otherwise pranayama is very addictive. Pranayama, asanas. Imagine you're doing, I mean, I have my students in a party, they're saying, see, I can do the handstand. So so which is why I told all of them now yoga teachers training, go. Now they don't do all that. Because you get so excited that I can do this, I can do that. That way. Great, Swati. I'm so happy to hear that you're teaching. I'm sure you'll go a very, very, very long way. And it's a extremely rewarding career, not just monetarily, but even this whole cycle of karma, right? I mean, you're just giving so much, right? And please take money because good karma is you don't want to be born again, no? Even if it is. Please take money for whatever you're teaching. Please don't do it for free at all. So because you don't want to, I mean, in philosophy, you learn all this. What is the cycle of karma, etc., etc.
Hi, Arunima. Sorry, it was
Hey,
just cut
Hardeep.
off.
Hey, Hardeep. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for all this, information and your sharings. It's really actually help us. And with the Shwasa, I really enjoy these classes and the flexible timings. Their dedication is, as you said, Shwasa is different. I have searched all the others institutes as well, but I can see that this is different. That's why when I finished the 200 hour, and I was thinking to do more because it's not enough. It's a lot to learn. So I was thinking to go for somewhere to go advanced teaching. So then I see a lot of them it didn't work for me. So I
It'll
came
not
back to
work.
Shwasa again.
Hardeep, it will not work. Where 3 weeks, YTT 300, where you will be able to learn. See, when you start, even see, right now, Dr. Vishwanath is teaching at such deep philosophy, right? How will you understand all those words? It takes time for you to understand. You cannot immediately understand. And like when you go to a retreat, right? I've gone to many 5-day meditation camps, etc. But till the time at home, every day I did the Gayatri Mantra Sadhana every day from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. That is when I understood what is meditation and what is chanting. It was not outside. I asked my teacher, which is the holiest place in the world where I can go and meditate. So he says, your asan, your mat. That is where you meet the higher energy, which is inside you. That is which is why Shwasa, we believe that come to a retreat. It's great for cleansing. You'll get sattvic khana, you'll get all this. But you have to make a change. You don't brush 3 times a week, right?
Right.
You brush every day, twice.
Yeah.
So same way about asana, pranayama. Meditation will come later. It's a tougher nut to crack.
Yeah, and I have started teaching as well after finishing. I got my certificate and started teaching. I rented a place, and so I called my community people here nearby, just spread the message, and some people joined, and I charged them just to pay the rent. So, but still,
Don't do that, Hardeep. Please charge because
yeah,
Hardeep.
I do, but it's very minimum. I to put it very minimum to make them
Don't do
comfortable
it.
as
Don't
well,
do it. No minimum and all. I am telling you, in India, I charged 5,000 rupees a month. In
Wow.
India, right? And everybody paid it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody paid it. So, we feel, see, I'm telling you again, our relationship with money is very weird. We feel that we should not charge, we should not pay. I mean, the more you pay, the more you get. And so don't prevent this for your students.
It looks like,
You know,
then we will, if we charge more, maybe they will not come. Some people think of like that. Okay,
no,
they will
no,
not
no,
come, then
because
we
then
should.
they are not ready, na? Then they're not ready. Who don't want to pay, they're not ready mentally, na? They're still very materialistic, this world, this money. So Hardeep, people will understand. I'm telling you, but you have to give value for money. So
Yeah,
that is very important that, when you are teaching, you are giving so much. The only thing which really stayed with me, see, people used to praise me like crazy, but you come in that place where praise and criticism don't really matter to you, right? So it didn't matter to me. What mattered to me was when one student say that, how come you are so giving in the class? Right? Because I was so invested in them, really. And I have been teaching for 8 years, and not even one class was I bored in. Not even one class was repetitive. There were times when I was like, yeah, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. But then suddenly, when I'm in the class, I get so much more energy. And I'm telling you, the end of class chanting also, the many times I felt
yeah.
that there was something bigger, here around us that way.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. Like, I should make my teaching more, go in depth, because it's a lot for me to learn to give them. So, I just gonna go for the 300
Very
then.
good, you did the 300. Very good. Everybody else, LV, Honey, Ravisha, Sanjay, all of you all, please do join. You will only elevate yourself. I'm going to end the session in just a minute because there's a philosophy course just after this. So, in the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that of all these 86 crore species or something, right? 4,000 is human species. And 4,000 doesn't mean Homo sapiens, Homo neanderthals, and all. It means 4,000 different levels of human consciousness. Right? So when you say my wavelength didn't match, it's a reality. It is, why is it that we cannot do some of the heinous crimes that we hear people do? It's completely the 4,000. So for us, it is about, so when they say seven hells and seven heavens, right? So right on top is Brahma. So it is basically your cerebral cortex. I mean, you're going up and you're going down. So you have to keep going to a higher level of consciousness. And then everything, you attract people from that level of consciousness. So that's how things change. Do you teach the class? Not really. I mean, I have so many other, I'll start teaching maybe workshops on the weekends, but I don't have a regular class at Shwasa right now. But all our teachers are fantastic. Please ask Hardeep. Please ask anybody here. Yeah. Sandhya, I'll do that. But all our teachers are fantastic. Now that we have advanced teachers also, I mean, please come to the YTT classes. They are excellent
San-
for you guys.
Sandhya Arunima will be at the retreat in the US for advanced.
Yeah. Retreat, so I'm going to get everybody to do all the inversions. That much I
Oh,
can
good,
tell
good,
you.
good.
She
I'll be
she
there
will
for
be
All the
there
sure.
in the
inversions.
retreat.
Yeah, yeah. When is
Yeah.
that? It's June or July? Sorry, I forgot
No,
that.
it's International Yoga Day, 21st
Uh,
June.
June. Yeah,
US
okay,
it's
okay.
June and India
Yeah.
is July.
India, it is July. India, I may not be there, Aradhana, because I may not be back till
Yeah.
then.
But
So I
do
need to
yeah.
start booking my tickets actually. So flight tickets. So
Yeah,
as soon
no,
as possible.
no. In the US, though, I'll get everybody to do all the asanas. That is, I mean, that is guaranteed because you're already practicing. Sandhya, you've done 1,300 classes. You just need a little bit here and there. It's in North Carolina.
Yeah,
Boone
yeah.
Boone in North Carolina, Mamta.
Okay, so we have to go for the philosophy class. Thank you very much. I really
Thank
hope to
you,
see you in
thank you,
Shasa
thank you.
classes.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Bye.
much.
Thank you
If
Thank
so
you.
anyone
much.
has
Thank
any
you.
questions around the subscription or the course, Dhruva will be able to speak to you. Arunima, can you not leave the end the class, but just leave so that the class can continue?
Oh, can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. But the minute I do leave, it will not end.
No, it will not end. So then Dhruva can continue.
All
He
right.
will.
All
Dhruva,
right.
you're there,
Thank
right?
you. So, Dhruva, anybody has any financial constraints and all, please take care of it. I mean, you can have payment plans, but please remember this investment and your ability to earn $90,000 over 18 months is something that is a given. So, this investment, you can get it back in 1 month. I got it back in 3 months because this is India, but you can get it back in the US in 1 month. All this investment, you can get it back in just 1 month. If it is only 200 hours, you'll get it back in 1 weekend. But if it is 200 hours, 300 hours, and retreat, you will get it back in 1 month. You can very easily reach out to me and tell me about the area that you live. How can you approach people? What should you do? I'll be very happy to help you. All right, I'm leaving. Thank you, Aradhna. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for hearing me out. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you a lot. Hey, Dhruv, actually, even I need to leave.